We hear that in the space of about a month, the number of ships that fishermen are opting to scrap under a government scheme has actually doubled. Last year, the government rolled out this policy where they were saying that if you're a fisherman, you can voluntarily destroy your boat and decommission it and then exit the market and you'll be paid for that. And this was to kind of free up space in the limited quota that Ireland has in our own fishing waters. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on that or reaction.
Of course I have. It's an anathema to me as a self-employed small businessman of 40 years when those fishermen and their boats and their families put everything they had in their pockets and their borrowings and indeed employing people, risking their lives and the lives of their families and their crew going out fishing to bring fish in to feed people and to sell it on the open market and basically to feed people. And the government have, if evidence was ever needed now to the attack on agriculture and fisheries on the same department, on our production lines here, whether it be agriculture or fisheries, here it is, when they're prepared to destroy pretty modern, very, very efficient and safe fishing trawlers and paying people to destroy them. I saw this with the beet industry back in my own county. It was a proud area of sugar beet. I sat beet, I tinned beet, I drove beet to factories. It was an industry that everybody worked in. And they obviously decent scaled down with 4 factories in the country, in Tuam and in Thurles and Carlow and in Mallow, and they closed them all except Mallow. And then when the EU wanted another further decommissioning or further reduction, they had only one plant left, so they had to decommission the plant in Mallow. And we're importing sugar now from various parts of the world. This is the same. We're going to allow big trawlers from foreign countries and European countries and other countries come in to actually within 10 miles off our shore, scoop up all the fish and sell them at our market, but bring them out abroad to sell our markets as well, and won't look after our own. Another case of a sellout by this government and Minister Charlie McConalogue of the Irish people. Lie down to the big moguls in Europe and all over the world, and to hell with the Irish, to hell with the colonies it used to be, but to pay people to destroy their perfectly working livelihood vessels that earn livings from. That doesn't sit in my brain anyway. It's destructive. Obviously, there's going to be huge issues of disposal of these vessels safely and properly. But to decommission perfectly seaworthy vessels just doesn't make sense.
I think what the reasoning behind the policy was initially was they were saying that with the limited quota that Ireland has, particularly after Brexit, there's not enough quota there for the number of ships we have in our national fleet to kind of, it's not profitable. So the reasoning is if we get rid of a load of fishermen, then the few that are left will be much more profitable and will be able to stay in the industry for longer. What would you say if Minister Charlie McConalogue said that?
It's laughable. It's farcical. He was told during the negotiations. He was asleep at the wheel. He didn't negotiate for our Irish fishermen. We got a bad deal in fishing when we entered the EU. We got bad deals over the years, but this is the worst deal ever. I mean, Father John Joe Duffy and the hundreds of vessels came to the port here and came to the Liffey here, and we all went down to meet them and support them. Why? What kind of a defeatist, weak, feeble attitude is that? We don't have enough fishing stock to keep out, so we pay the people to get out. So if we take that attitude into agriculture, which we are taking into agriculture with the cull and cow numbers and the cull and the stopping of nitrogen and everything else, we're going to same will apply. So if that goes along all industry, and we see what's happening with high tech and the Google world and all now, so if we take that defeatist attitude, we must pack up our tent and go home. What did our forefathers, and Liam Lynch, who gave his life in ultimate sacrifice in the Knockmildown Mountains 100 years ago on the 10th of April, our forefathers fight for our freedom, for our right of our destiny of our land and our waters all around us, and from shore to sea to shore, and unfettered access to our own property. And our government is setting out bit by bit, inch by inch, row by row, as the song says. And successive governments have done this, but this has to be the worst of all, because they have jumped into the global boat now, of international globalism, even Sinn Féin supporting on all global issues. They used to be a nationalist party, but now they're going to be a globalist party. They don't even dare to represent people like Liam Lynch anymore. And all parties in here, even parties that had left, are supporting this. They might jump up and down, but they're supporting different issues that are going on around the world. This is just shocking and it's bizarre. And to go back to Charlie Haughey days, it's Goobo, because it's grotesque to think that we adopt that defeatist attitude. We don't have enough fish on the fishing stock anymore because we sold it out, so now we have to get rid of a lot of the fleets. Think a ship is one thing, a vessel, but what about the family, the owner, and his love and his graw for that work that he did, his training, the expertise he's built up, and the family that he employed helped him, and the other, whether it be seasonal labour or whatever, very, very dangerous weathers and everything else. So do those people not matter anymore? Obviously, to this government, they don't.